Good day and welcome to Natural Health Dialogue. And we are hopefully coming close to an end of this pandemic that we've all been living through here. And we are going to cover again another topic related to your health as it relates to the pandemic. We've talked about strengthening your body to fight pathogens. We've talked about cleansing to help you fight pathogens. This time, you know what? You know who we're gonna listen to this time?
Mom. Listen to your mama.
Mom. That's right.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I got to thinking, what did we do when we were kids? And I don't remember us having a big pandemic when we were kids, but the normal colds and flus and skeeter bites and all the other things that we used to do, we had ways that we treated those, not as serious as this is, and I'm not trying to make light of that at all. But I said, you know what, if we want to talk about some things that we can do to strengthen our immune systems, some things that we can do to help take care of ourselves and do what we can do besides what the doctors are doing for us and the politicians are doing for us, what are some things that we can do? Let's think in the proverbial outside the box. Well, outside the box for me actually turned out to be inside the box. I got to thinking about, what did my mama do? What did my grandmother do whenever we had those things? So again, I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't treat or cure or try to diagnose diseases. I'm just talking about your body system. What can you do to help take care of your body system? And what were some of the things that your mother and your grandmother did when you were a kid to help you when times got tough or when you got sick? I put them into two categories. I first thought about foods. This is the third week of the month, and generally on the third week of the month, we have Miss Shirley, Dr. Shirley, who's talking about foods for whatever topic we have to be going with that month. And I thought, well, let's talk about some foods here. What are some categories of foods? Now, I'm not going to give you specific things to eat and not to eat and that kind of stuff, but I thought of about three different categories that we don't talk about a lot. Number one was spicy foods. Spicy foods add pathogen destruction and immune stimulation types of nutrients to your body. Many of the spices that we use, like clove and ginger and onions, horseradish, peppers, garlic, all of those are really, really helpful. And they also are in things like a lot of people have heard of the Thieves essential oil tonics, or have heard about Dr. Schultz's tonic. I've talked about that many, many times. Guess what? These are all ingredients in those kinds of things. And so they are spices that help your body to build the immune system and maybe even act in part of that immune system to help you try to wipe out some of the pathogens that may be coming into your body as well.
So wait a minute, these are food products. These are not something you have to go to your pharmacist to get, right?
No, these are things you can get at the grocery store. Yeah. And you're still allowed, even in these times, to go to the grocery store. Right. So when you go to the grocery store, instead of picking up the normal stuff that you always eat, think outside the box and figure how you can take your home recipes and turn them into spicier recipes, or eat those foods that are already in your diet that have a lot of spices in them. Eat some Mexican food. We all know how that gives us that heat and those spices that are in there. Some of the Mediterranean foods are heavily spiced with things like oregano and basil. The spicier the foods are, the more they act in an anti-pathogen way within your body, or a pathogen-destructive way in your body. So think spicy. Secondly, nutrient-rich foods. Don't eat just junk food. As a matter of fact, don't eat any junk food, and keep sugar out of your diet completely, because most of the pathogens that get into our body feed on sugars. So nutrient-rich things, particularly fruits and vegetables. We did a podcast several months ago on Eat Your Colors. And I've talked about how every colored food has different nutrients in it. You're going to get the antioxidants out of your reds and purples and blues. You're going to get bioflavonoids out of the yellows and the oranges. Every single one of the colors have a different food nutrient. And if we're going to try to be like Dr. Wallach and not do it with supplements, but with food, then we're going to need to make sure that we eat a wide variety, particularly of fruits and vegetables, and a lot of green foods, a lot of seafoods, sea as in sea greens, as well as fish.
Oh, wow. So, Randy,
many of the farmers markets that we're going to are also,
Oh, no, that's all right. Go ahead.
Okay. I started to say the third category that I put are mushrooms. We don't normally, in my diet growing up, didn't eat a lot of mushrooms. We may have a few button mushrooms that Mama may have put into one of the soups or something, but that was about it. But I've been amazed. My sister lives in Little Rock, Arkansas, and every time I go down to see her or we spend a day or two with her, on Saturday there's a farmer's market where there's a young man who sells about 13 different varieties of edible, healthy mushrooms, and those we can find in some farmers markets here in Oklahoma now as well. And more people are starting to grow some mushrooms. So many of the farmer markets have these, we call them medicinal mushrooms, but they're edible mushrooms that just happen to have a nutritional or a medical application to them. Look at, for example, agarikon. I'd never heard of an agarikon mushroom growing up, but it's reported to have benefits similar to olive leaf or echinacea. It's a booster for your immune system. It's a huge mushroom that grows to be several feet in length and is found particularly in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know all the places they are. Another one that I've had a lot of people come to the store and ask me for in the last month has been cordyceps. Cordyceps. Cordyceps, yeah. Cordyceps is actually a mushroom. It's primarily used for energy support, but it's also been praised for its lung support effects.
You think
so if you're looking for something to help with your lungs, your respiratory system, get you some cordyceps. That's another good one. Blends that have cordyceps, reishi mushrooms, chaga mushrooms, their ingredients all blended to make it easier to breathe as well. There's one company that I process for that has a bunch of flavored blended mushroom extracts. And these mushroom combinations, these are meant to be boost for your immune system. So if you're looking for a think out of the box way to boost your immune system, think adding some mushrooms to your diet or taking some mushroom supplements. That's a good one. That's the food category. The remedy category, and we're not going to have enough time to cover all of these, so very quickly I'll just mention 2 or 3 of them. I don't drink alcohol. Most of my friends know that. But when I was a kid, when we had something really going on that was respiratory in nature, we had a hot toddy. My mom would make her annual trip, once a year trip, to the liquor store to buy some. In our case, she bought whiskey, and whiskey, lemon juice, and honey. I had planned to go into we may do this sometime, what the specific benefits of all 3 of those are, but I'll just tell you that drinking a hot toddy can boost your immune system. Brush your teeth with salt and baking soda. Both of those have tremendous benefits. I'll try to put some more about this on our website in a couple of recipes that we have. But my dad's go-to for heartburn, his go-to for any kind of indigestion was a BC tablet, and that was baking soda. And so baking soda is an alkalizing agent, and we have shown that virtually in my training, the training was that no common pathogen can live in an alkaline environment. So if you're taking things like lemon water, lime water, apple cider vinegar, baking soda, those kinds of things into your system to help boost your alkalinity, then you're also going to make less attractive to a pathogen that would hurt you. I've got several other things here. I'll just tell you, chest rubs, look at vaporizers. We now use diffusers, but my mom ran the vaporizer with VapoRub in it that kept us cleaning. And an annual cleansing of castor oil. I wrote in my blog here, it either made me throw up or run for the bathroom. Either way, it did a number on cleansing me out. I'd probably check with my doctor before I did much of that anymore. But as a kid, I endured it, and I'm here to tell you that there were some positive results to it. So look at some of those. These are some out of the system, out of the box things that you can do every day to help boost your immune system and get you through this time when our immune systems are being particularly challenged.
Amen. Well, Randy, you filled our toolbox with a number of ways to survive and thrive during this crisis, and we thank you for that. And for all of our listeners, we will see you again next week. And until then, please be healthy.
Be healthy. Fight the good fight.